Appreciate all the love and support. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Make sure you like, comment, because your boy gonna get back with you, and subscribe to the channel. This is episode 19 of Stop Watching AEW, but it looks like it's talking about wrestling in general. Shout out to the Clipper, Jason G. Professional wrestling in 2026 is not in a good place. I don't know what he means by that. I feel like it's a good place for professional wrestling for me. We got a lot of good stuff going on in professional wrestling. We got HOG. Got a big weekend coming up. 4 major shows. Great American Bash, Forbidden Door, TNA Slammiversary, one of the biggest shows with TNA, and Night of Champions. Then you still got MLW. You still got, I said HOG was last week. They got some every month. MLW every week. Stardom, New Japan, Ashe Wrestling, and then all these other promotions, Eve. It's so many other wrestling. And you're saying it's not in a good place. I feel like it's in a great place. Let's see what they're talking about. As y'all know, we do not fake none of these reactions. We watch this together. Shout out to my boys. So let's go ahead and get into the video and check out, see what them boys talking about. Just Delusional, guy with the same hat. And Mr. Oh, he got a new background. Both of them got new backgrounds, huh? Okay, pay attention, new backgrounds. This is the Yes Man. He got the same hat on too. Okay, we ain't got no other hats. We can't.
The Forbidden Door concept is still relevant in 2026.
Audio for me.
Nothing.
Here we go. And audio for me. All right, let's go.
You know, I feel like this is going to be a very, 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 very brief stream tonight. I have put a very, very big focus on story. And an avid watcher of professional wrestling that takes story first to be the biggest priority and the most important aspect of what we're doing. And then the match comes and you blend it all together and beautiful picture. AEW is skipping the most important part in almost everything that they do across their weekly television shows on Wednesday and Saturday, and they're going right to the wrestling. Tonight's show was nothing but a absolute back and forth, slam it in your face, match after match after match after match. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches on Dynamite tonight. So many matches, Jesse, that they didn't even allow the match that finished to breathe. The fucking guys that were competing in the next match were coming out as the people in the previous match were still in the ring.
Where's my LeBron clip?
Anybody else that's not, you don't say that. You don't say that. You don't say that. You're the only person on here ain't allowed to say that.
Hopefully that was long enough. Bro, you cannot say that. Weren't you the same guy at WrestleMania? Talking about, hey, it wasn't enough matches. Everybody complaining. It's so many, it's not enough wrestling. We've seen so much ads. We've seen too many ads. And now, obviously it's in a different company, but now it's too much wrestling. You can't have both, bro. That's why it's 2 different companies. You have to understand what's going on. Hell, I've said something about WWE, actually this past Monday, before we had the main event. They did 2 commercial spots before we even got to the main event, and then had the nerve to do 2 commercial spots during the match. But you're complaining about too many matches and not enough segments? But then people be complaining about there's too many segments going on. And where's the wrestling, bro? You can't have them both. That's what they say. You can't have your cake. You can't eat. What was it? You can't have your cake and eat it too. Okay? You want both. You want them to do the storytelling, but then when they do the storytelling, You say, well, they don't understand. The booking is bad. They don't understand the storylines, and it doesn't make sense. The story doesn't make sense. Now they're doing too much wrestling. The guys don't have time to breathe. It's like, this man complains about everything. I think Mr. Just Delusional wakes up. He's one of those guys that wake up and be like, damn, I woke up today. That is him. He does not appreciate the life that the Lord has given him. And he does not ever be excited. He's never ecstatic. He's never feeling good about himself. He has to come on here on this stream and be disappointed. He has to be that disappointed father. He has to be that the disciplinary. He has to say something negative for you to feel bad, bro. It's like, dog, we in a minute in and you already complaining? Come on, man.
That's the type of show that it was tonight. We barely got any promos. We barely got an interview segment. And it was just nonstop action. Now, this may be for some people out there, and I understand that WWE is giving us the Attitude Era, and I understand that everybody's upset with the amount of ads and the commercials and this and that and the lack of pro wrestling on WWE's end. They got their own problems to worry about. WWE's problems have absolutely nothing to do with the problems that exist in AEW. AEW's got a big problem, several problems, in fact, that they refuse to acknowledge. All I will say is this, and this is my opinion and my opinion only. I didn't watch any of Jesse's live stream tonight when he was watching it with some of you guys tonight on YouTube. I don't know what he thought of the show.
Why ain't, hey, whoa,
this is the worst kind of...
Why you ain't supporting your brother? You ain't watching the show. He's on yours. Why you ain't watching his? Support his show. You should be out here supporting his show. What we doing? I ain't finna come on your show and you ain't giving me no love on mine. Hey, yo, come on now. We gotta do better than that, Mr. Just Delusional.
Pro wrestling show, in my opinion. It offers absolutely nothing. It doesn't get you excited. Tony Khan basically threw matches together with no rhyme or reason. None of it mattered. None of it made any sense. We had a main event tonight for a championship that Ricochet shouldn't even be in consideration for. We got New Japan athletes coming over here to the United States for this weekend's Forbidden Door that are basically forced onto the card because Tony needs to keep up appearances and make believe the Forbidden Door concept is still relevant in 2026. Nothing on this show mattered. It will all be forgotten by the time we all wake up tomorrow. I put out a tweet last week, and I said verbatim, every time we go live for AEW Dynamite, the audiences are shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. It's not me. I'm at the top of my fucking game. My WWE stuff has taken a little bit of a hit, but not as much as Dynamite. Jesse, it's not his fault either. It's not our fault. We're still the #1 live stream in the entire space, no matter who you go and watch, no matter what you think of us. People are still gravitating to us to get the real AEW. What you got.
I don't know about the last part, but I will give him that. I've checked his numbers. Hey, again, that's what I'm saying, bro. You should be grateful. I'm a guy that puts in the work. You put in work too. Let's give him the real as we normally do. He put in work too, but guess what? I put in work too, and I don't get the views that you get. Let's keep that a bean. Let's keep that a buck. And if I was getting the views that you were getting, I don't think I'll be this dissatisfied, bro. I'm in a certain point where I am frustrated mentally, but I'm still continuing to put out the work. I'm still continuing to put out the content because I have a goal, and eventually I hope I get to the views that I'm getting when it comes to what he's doing. His brother is doing 20K, 30K, 40K. I'm sitting there like, bro, why are you mad? What are you talking about? If I had 1,000 views on a video consistently, I'm good with that. But I'm good with what I'm on because I'm putting in the work. But I'll give him that. His live streams do be booming. Absolutely. I'll give him that for sure.
Got tonight was absolutely a terrible, terrible program, in my opinion. This was the worst of all the pro wrestling shows that they can do. And the Forbidden Door concept needs to die in a fucking fire. That's my genuine feeling on the Forbidden Door. Pro wrestling in 2026. Brian Alvarez said this, Jesse. I don't know if you saw what Brian Alvarez said in regards to AEW and WWE. He said on the Observer Live, and I quote, "Everyone's going to get mad at me. I think in AEW and WWE, there's really nothing to sink your teeth into right now. I can't think of one storyline that's really grabbing me right now, and I think that both companies need one." End quote. Pro wrestling in 2026, in my opinion, is far worse than what we got in 2025. We need some major change in pro wrestling. Everybody is in their comfort zone doing what they only know how to do. Tony only knows how to book matches, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's booking matches. Triple H, I don't know what the fuck Triple H is doing. We're going into Saturday's Night of Champions with the possibility of Jey Uso being the 2026 King of the Ring and beating Obafemi. I don't know what we're doing over there. I don't know if it's all Triple H. I don't know if it's a mixture of people on the writing team. I don't know how much Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro and the board of directors over at TKO are giving Triple H orders to have them run the show. I don't know exactly what's going on there. All I know is pro wrestling in 2026 needs a major shakeup. TNA, WWE, AEW, it seemingly feels like every major promotion here in the United States just doesn't know how to get people excited anymore. They sit in their comfort zone. And to me, Jesse, this is fucking so boring. This is worse than bad, bro. When you get to this level, this is the worst type of show that you could possibly sit and watch for 2.5 hours. I thought tonight was absolutely terrible.
It's not good. Pro wrestling, the state of pro wrestling right now this year is in a horrible place. Alvarez is absolutely correct about it. It could be worse. It could be worse in that the matches that we get are terrible matches. The matches are not terrible. It's a lot of wrestling. So it could be worse. Is the wrestling terrible?
I don't think the wrestling's terrible, no.
So it could be worse. It's not the worst, right? What if the wrestling was terrible along with everything else?
No, you have great wrestlers on the show that aren't given any direction.
So there is that. I walked into House of Glory this weekend, and I had a blast watching the show. I didn't know any fucking stories. I don't know any storylines. I don't know who is involved with who or what or why they're doing what they're doing. I just know I watched some fantastic fucking wrestling. And as a wrestling fan, at its core, I can appreciate that. Now,
that's why I said you can't have it both. You can't have both. So we just had this whole soliloquy of what Mr. Just Delusional was saying, well, wrestling is terrible. And then he quoted what Brian Alvarez said, storyline, not the wrestling. It's a part of it. I can't agree that 2026 is just this bad compared to 2025 when we haven't even got to the rest of the year. The year's not over. Because 2025, y'all was saying it was trash. So now all of a sudden 2026 is worse? Because what? They don't have a big story, but this is what happens when people want Brock Lesnar to show back up. That guy. This is what happens when you don't want Jey Uso to win. That guy. But then this is what also happens when people are asking for Roman Reigns, and when you get Roman Reigns, you don't want Roman Reigns no more. Saying the bloodline is terrible. That guy. I'm just saying, you can't have both. You have to deal with what it is, bro. I wish he would do a video showing people exactly how he would book stuff instead of just saying people are terrible. How would you book it? That's what I want to know. How would you book these shows? Because it seems like you know all the answers. It seems like you got all the keys. It seems like you understand what they're doing. You feel like you know what you feel like you can do a better job than what everyone else is doing. So how about you make your own show? How about you, instead of reacting to it, how about you make your own show and create something? That's what I'm thinking. This man got all the answers. I want to know. I want to see what you can book. Who would be Just Delusional's world champion right now in AEW and WWE? How would you book it? How would you have the women wrestling? How would you have the men? How many ads would you do? Like, it sounds like it's an easy job, bro. I know it ain't. And I don't even do any of that. I know it's not, bro. We putting all the pressure as fans and creators and telling these people, oh, bro, you're doing it wrong. What happens when you get in that chair? Let's see if you can do a better job than what they're doing. It's easy to say it, but then when it's time to do it, what happens? That's all I'm asking. Let me see what you can do. And to me, I don't think the wrestling is terrible because, and he said in the US, obviously Stardom, New Japan, all this other stuff, but MLW is doing good. Like, it's certain stories that you just got to sit there. And it's a lot of incomplete stuff that is going on in WWE. And AEW, they got some incomplete as well when it comes to storytelling. But then you know what happens when the pay-per-view shows up? Then you be like, oh, okay. Because just little subtle stuff, just like last night, Edge and Christian over there beating up. I always call me Edge and Christian beating up the dogs. Guess who was out there? The Young Bucks. That's intel and letting you know, hey, that match is gonna happen very soon. That's just a little bit of storytelling just right there. But they don't pay attention to that stuff. Let's let them finish, man, so we get up out of here. My bad.
Syndicated pro wrestling television show, the stories are equally as important as the good wrestling. So at the bare minimum, they are missing 50% of their fucking equation here. You need to tell a fantastic story to keep your audience coming back. It's not okay to just do great wrestling and that's it, and then pat yourself on the back. That is not enough. It is not enough. It could be worse, but at the same time, it's not enough. They're not, if they're focused on what WWE is doing and seeing that they're not doing great, and they're sitting around saying, well, we got it easy because they're not doing great. That's not it. You're also not doing great because you need to tell us compelling stories. Alvarez is absolutely correct. I mean, there is nothing grabbing you. There is nothing compelling you to run to your television sets at a programmed time and a programmed day of the week to watch what should be called appointment TV. That's not it. It's just going to be some great wrestling, and that can only take you so far. But at least the wrestling is great. We just need more from creative to go with what the talent is putting out there. But that's my take on it. Nobody is wrong because it is fucking boring. It is boring. I mean, how long can you just sit and watch the same graps? I mean, we need more, and they're not giving us more.
So according to, I wonder how everybody else feels. Does everybody feel that wrestling is boring? I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority and feel like I don't feel like wrestling is boring. I mean, when it comes to story, now I don't watch SmackDown enough, but I know the biggest story in WWE, in my opinion, is actually Sami Zayn. That's just been the story the whole time. They've been running this story almost since Elimination Chamber. That's the biggest story in WWE right now, Sami Zayn. And again, the clock starts. If he doesn't win the championship Saturday, the clock starts all the way to next year at WrestleMania. But that seems like that's the story going on. But I mean, AEW, Swerve and Osprey, obviously Osprey and the Death Riders, that's a story. I mean, Kevin Knight and the Don Callis family, that's a story. Mayo World. We're gonna see more of that Saturday. They didn't. I was kind of disappointed they didn't post that on Wednesday, but they want to do that on Saturday. They got a tag team match, High End and Maya World versus Mercedes and Athena. I mean, I get it, bro. I understand. It definitely was a lot of wrestling on Wednesday. I understand that. I watched it with my wife. Me and my wife was just talking, and so stuff just kind of flew by my head. I was paying attention. I was definitely disappointed that Marina didn't win. Hey, bro, look, all I can do is be a spectator, react to it, do the recaps, and talk and give my my thoughts on how I feel about the stuff, bro. I'm not gonna be sitting there getting upset about what I'm seeing, bro, because at the end of the day, it don't matter how mad you get. It don't matter how much you tell somebody they need to do this. They're gonna do what they want to do. And then that's why you have other alternates in wrestling. Then that's why you have other alternates in life. I have other stuff that I have going on. You know, I have a job. You know, I still work. I got 2 kids. I got a wife. I watch basketball. I watch NFL. I do other things in sports. There's so many things you can do outside of wrestling. That's why I be saying, bro, wrestling is not the end all be all. And that might be the case for these two and Brian Alvarez and other people that feel like wrestling is at a standstill, at its stale, it's boring. I enjoy it when I see it. And if I don't like it, I don't like it. That's why I don't watch SmackDown like that. It is what it is when it comes to me. But hey, I understand it. If people don't like wrestling right now, it's so many things you can do. It's a number one thing you can do, and is stop watching it. That's why we made this series. Because they continue to keep complaining and keep making these videos. I'm gonna keep reacting and letting you know. Maybe you should stop watching it. Maybe your life will be a little bit better if you don't enjoy the product. But until next time, appreciate all the love and support. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. If you can, I understand because some people don't like JD. I don't got nothing personal, but I'm gonna still give him the smoke because he doesn't want the smoke, unfortunately. But I'm a little creator. I'm a small creator. He's not paying no attention to me. But he did send a copyright thing, so maybe he is worried about me still. I don't know. That was a long time ago, but appreciate all the love, support. All glory to God. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Stay dangerous.